Hey! It's time for D&D.
That
We're doing the D&D. It's time.
Woo!
Whoa.
This time on D&D.
We all get jobs.
Jan Michael Vincent's.
This January.
It's time to Michael down your Vincent. Sorry.
Answer Jeff's question that started just before the stream started. I'm thinking it's just like the next day because it's almost time for the party and they hadn't quite arrived yet. And originally the party was 3 days away.
And then we just waylaid that shit.
Yep.
So I guess I'm not a moss dog anymore.
No, not the moment. We're back at the bar.
You can't be a moss dog at the fancy party, man.
I mean, he could.
Yes, you can, but you shouldn't, I guess is what I'm saying.
He's my seeing eye moss dog.
Yeah.
Okay, or you can do that.
Maybe I'm a therapy moss dog, you don't know.
Alright, whatever floats your goat, buddy.
Or whatever floats your moss dog.
Whatever floats your moss goat.
All right, guys. So one thing I wanted to implement, which you guys have heard me talk about C-Team and them having cool little jobs per party member. I'm totally ripping that off. And we're going to do that. So Yudo, aka the DM, is going to say, I'd like to do this. Give everybody these little side titles. He's officially the host, who's the point of contact for outside parties to talk to their little franchise. And he, has to learn about clients and targets and upkeep the base of operations, which for now is this bar. There are several other responsibilities, which I will outline, and we can assign to each other. Unfortunately, Josh Gary's not here, so him and I will have to fight over what's left. So there's the auditor, which is tasked with tracking and sorting loot, aka our loot person. There's the networker, who is to write down the names and important details of any people the party deals with, aka the NPC tracker. There's the loremonger, who compiles relevant arcane, cultural, and historical information to the mission at hand, which mostly gathers, random trivia and maybe help everybody work on their random background missions. Documancer, which is responsible for tracking what the mission is, our side quests, and any progress through each of these. Pretty much making sure we get paid by saying, yes, we did complete that, and that's why. Then there's the dealer, who's the party face and tiebreaker, tasked with finding and making deals, ensuring equitable payment if Yudo isn't available. And then there's the obviator, which is a weird role, which is someone who adjusts level of life for maximum convenience of the party, which covers a whole range of murder, healing, cartography, etc.
I kind of like that last one. That sounds like fun.
I was kind of thinking the lore one.
All right.
Am I going to be the face now?
That's what I was thinking.
It's like in the A-Team.
Actually, so Brent, technically my character has an extremely high charisma.
I have a decently high charisma.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were taking it just cuz or if you actually had the stats to do it.
So, alright. So, real talk, I'm a bard.
Oh. How did I miss that?
I didn't say it at the beginning.
Okay.
I just was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm an adventure guy. It's fine.
All right. Cool. Then, you do that.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
What's yours at? Mine's at 16.
I think mine is also at 16.
Okay, so we're both charisma bros.
Yeah. Is mine at 16?
Charisma
Pull up my
bros.
character sheet. Oh no, mine's 18.
Oh, so yours is
shit.
higher.
Yeah, but I'm trained in deception, in intimidation. Oh no, I have persuasion as well. Okay, cool. So yeah,
I got persuasion as one of my expertise skills.
All right, can you describe the face one again there, Dave?
Yeah. So the dealer largely is party face of, finding and making deals, ensuring equitable payment if Udo isn't available to make sure that we already have payment set up. And they also work as a tiebreaker. If there's all 6 of us and we disagree, their vote counts as 2.
I think character-wise, your character is probably more suitable towards it.
Probably.
My stats might be slightly better for it, but
There's nothing stopping you
I
from
get that
still rolling
expertise
persuasion or
things.
intimidation.
Yeah.
yeah. Why don't you do that? I don't mind taking over the loot sheet.
Want to be
Okay.
the auditor?
Yeah, because I know Brent didn't really want to do that anymore, and someone's got to do it. So
All right.
I got it.
That's because he does it in every game.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that leaves the networker and the documancer between me and Josh Gary.
And what is the networker again?
The networker is pretty much the NPC tracker.
Okay.
Which, if I'm the NPC tracker, that's easy enough for me. If Josh is the NPC tracker, when you're like, oh, who's that guy? And if we already know the answer to that, I'm not going to necessarily tell you. Because it's Josh's job to tell you.
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, pretty much it's a giant system for the DM now only has to do 1/5 of the amount of crap he was tracking necessarily.
Okay.
I still have to prepare everything, but once I give it to you, I don't need to remember it.
Okay.
But you also get cool shit for doing this.
Oh,
So,
I should get notes.
Yeah, take your own notes. Zach, you're going to get an item.
Okay.
The accountant's band, which is a ring. As an action, you can wave your hand over a pile of objects. Items that aren't worn or in a direct possession of other creatures in a 5-foot cube are telekinetically moved and sorted into categories of your choosing. Items sorted cannot weigh more than 3 pounds each. In this way, piles of coins can be sorted by type and size. Grains of ground diamond can be sorted from grains of sand, etc. Objects fused together cannot be unfused in this way, such as cordial diluted in water. But for the most part, it's a little fluff item for you to be like, we found a giant pile of coins, and now they're all properly stacked.
Okay.
Most of these are little fun fluff things that you can do your job better.
Yeah. Cool.
Steve, as the loremonger, you get a tome of trivia. This thick tome holds all sorts of random factoids. Once per day, you can speak a command word followed by a subject. The tome then flips to a page based on the subject. Roll a d100, and the result determines how useful the fact is to your current needs.
Okie-doke.
Brent, as the dealer, you get a seal of authority, which is also a ring. While wearing this ring, you can present it and speak its command word, and an illusionary document is produced. The document is real only so long as you hold it, after which it dissipates in a puff of smoke. This particular document bespeaks your authority to make deals on the behalf of the Guild of Adventurous Intent.
Neat.
And Jeff, as the obviator, you start off with a cartographer's ring. This ring has 4 charges and gains 1d4 charges after a short or long rest. As an action, you can use 1 charge to be granted a brief glimpse of a bird's eye perspective of the area. Until the start of your next turn, your vision moves a mile above you, and your vision is as if you're looking directly down at yourself. The ring can be used underground, but if you are further than a mile deep, you will only see darkness.
How high up?
1 mile.
And how far of a diameter can I see out? Or circumference or whatever?
You can see whatever circumference a mile up and looking straight down will let you see, which is probably a good amount.
But like, what angle can I look out? Can I just look at in all directions?
The way this item was built when I saw it was you're looking straight down. So it's probably more like a cone. So you probably see like a mile diameter below you.
Okay. How many charges did you say?
It's a D. It has 4 starting out, and it gains a D4 after a short rest. So you can use it a lot. But it only lasts 1 turn, so that's why you can use it a lot.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other questions or clarifications on what I said?
So what officially are the things I need to do as the dealer? I'm the face and the tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And Loremonger is just kind of keeping track of world information, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much keep track of world info, and then you should feel motivated to do additional research.
Which is right up my character's alley.
That's what I figured you would probably go for.
Yeah.
It's the idea of this one, in character wise, it's we're gonna go off to this mountain to the northeast, and you should look up information about that mountain, on the routes there, on the people we might come across. Those might give you bonuses and other stuff.
What was the part of the? Sorry, it was what was the job called? I had obfuscator, and it's not that.
Obviator, so it's OBVIATOR.
Would it help to add a note in Roll20 that has all this stuff?
Yeah, I can copy paste some of this in a little bit.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Hold on.
And that involved health tracking and death tracking and stuff.
If you want to, the main thing was it's a weird roll. The one I stole it from, pretty much had a way to kill everyone that they came across. Was the way that they played that. The official quote from that game was adjusts level of life for maximum convenience of the party.
So the occasional thusly.
But do I have control over that?
You don't necessarily have control over it, but your job is to kind of mostly. So, cartography is one role, and then potentially be the monster lore to be that thing's got a weak spot under its armpit, or let me see if I can get. There we go. Player jobs. I will create a note.
And so I take a look at the monster and say, oh, its power level's over 9,000.
What? 9,000?
9,000 units of measure of what?
Except if you hit it on this one scale, it dies instantly.
Talk amongst yourselves. I am copying and pasting furiously. Without putting in all the other stuff I got planned, if you guys do your jobs well.
I mean, I always do my job well, so.
So my job is to just keep the loot, right? That's yeah, cool.
Keep loot. Now you have a cool item to help you sort loot.
Yeah, I do feel like the dragon being the one, being shiny gold seems kind of appropriate.
Yeah, no. One of those funny things in the C team is their what the heck do they call it? The Hordes person is their drow warlock who cares not for earthly wares. So he keeps track of all their loot but doesn't give a crap about it. So if someone's give me this for that, and he wants that thing, he just gives it. He's I don't care. Here. All right. So we got Zach, Steve. We're going to use our real names just because it's easier that way.
Don't put our real names on the internet.
You're already in the game.
Is the Assassin's Bracer the bracer that I have?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the one that cuts off your hand and makes it a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Too spooky.
I think it's appropriate level of spooky.
3 spooky, 5 me.
When did we get this?
There's some weird formatting issues. I'm going to fix those.
Since when do we have the Heart of Cinnamon?
We got that in the holiday party.
Okay. Thing seems sweet.
I'm pretty
Pun
sure
intended.
somebody grabbed it, but I'm not sure who.
It's all good.
Yeah, I can't remember who grabbed that.
Well, it's not on my sheet.
I had the wand of snowballs.
I have that crystal heart in the puzzle box.
All right, whatever. There's some weird ass formatting. There we go. Why?
Why, Chico? Why?
Why? Okay, now it's there. Player jobs, right at the top.
Whoa.
Excellent. I'll email Josh Gary later, and we can fight over what's left.
Cool.
Sweet. So we have some time before the party if anybody wants to do anything in that free time, or we can thusly over to the Thorngall party.
I probably should find a set of party clothes
Okay.
if we haven't already done that.
I thought we did that. Like, that was part of prep for the
Right.
heist.
So, here's a question. I was technically going to be a guard. I probably don't need to be a guard anymore.
No, you are invited and you can attend normally.
Okay.
Unless you are still intending to somehow heist the gem for the lulls.
Definitely not. But here's the thing I do research before we go. I want to look at that gem. Like, do I think, like, oh, we took care of these thieves guys, so they'll totally let me take a look at it? Or do I think that, I might have to do something else to get them to let me examine it?
You think if you talk to Yudo about your desire to do so, they would at least give a messenger to give them a heads up that that's your intent? And then you may or may not have to further convince the Thorngall family to let you see it.
Okay, I definitely do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually, I think, make use of the power and try and see what information I can glean about that curse. Or was it just generic information about a curse that we had?
We know it's preventing a curse from affecting the family, but you don't know exactly what.
Okay. I could ask about the family in general, or I guess I could just look it up in the library.
Yeah, feel free to use the tome. That's why it's there. So I'm gonna have fun making up answers, depending on what you guys research.
Wow. Now my brain's going slightly meta. Oh, wait. He's going to make it up?
No, there's some stuff I have written down, but if you're like, tell me about the Thorngall family, I can be like, oh, you rolled and it's at a 12. They have a dog named Bob. Like, it can be a very generic answer depending on
Fair.
how broad the subject is.
I want
So
to
just-
meet Bob the dog.
So just nat 20 on everything, so he has to make up really complicated stuff.
Or things that are really true. True facts about Eastspire.
Well,
Hey, Drew-
The people of Eastspire are all idiots.
yeah, a 1 is on a D100 is just misinformation. But yeah, I'll roll for researching on the Thorngalls.
Okay.
D100, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
92.
I am now doomed to roll natural 1s on D20s the rest of the night.
With that attitude, sure.
Because my attitude influences the bits.
Yes.
All right.
I am one with the Matrix.
All right, so the Thorngalls They're a merchant. He's a merchant prince of Eastspire. So his family has hands kind of all manners of trade. You were asking more curse wise, right? To more of that tree.
Yeah, if possible.
So I think with a 92, that's about as good as you're probably gonna get. So the family was long ago cursed with lycanthropy. And
That's
the
serious.
gem was created to prevent the curse from showing any of its effects on the family members. So essentially keeps the curse of lycanthropy away.
Huh.
So they don't transform, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they have no outward... With the gem, there's no outward presence of lycanthropy. Which, since you rolled that high, and I can talk meta, if we had done the heist and given over the gem, the Thieves Guild would have done something to the gem to turn off the anti-curse, and then the Thorngall family would have potentially attacked a bunch of the party goers and each other, and then Andes would show up being all pissed off that he's the only one that can somewhat control himself in that form.
Wow. Bullet dodged.
Yeah, most of the family would have been sent out to sea on a ship until like it was dealt with.
Damn.
AKA horrible death.
Saved innocent people.
Yay.
Woo us. Okay. Yeah. So do I get a reply from Yudo?
I mean, they'll send someone over to let Andy's Thorngall know that, like, you guys were potentially hired to steal this gem and found out that that was not the right thing to do and dealt with the problem appropriately. But
Gotcha.
upon finding that out, they also found out the nature of the gem and would like to academically check it out.
Okay.
You don't necessarily get a reply from the Thorngalls with the party about to start, but they would likely have received the message.
Whoop whoop.
So you guys want to go to the party? Is there anything else you want to do?
Yeah, no, I'm cool. Let's go to the party.
I'm ready to get my party on.
Alright.
Yeah, I've never been to a party in a city.
Oh, snap.
Control, click. You guys are up here.
Cool.
Put him off to the side. Alright.
He's off being super justice guy.
Yeah, or he comes, but he's just not very talkative.
That too.
So you guys come up to this massive kind of, house up in the cliffs. Shard, aka Ignatius, is already inside, as he had to go with his family.
Ah.
So you guys stroll up shortly later, and you are met at the front balcony. There is a guard, someone with a party list, and this guy. Can you guys see the nameplates?
No.
All right, I'll get this more for my use. This is Jester-looking guy, who is known as Wit Chumley. And someone make a history a history check.
Yay!
So, you see this guy up on the stoop, and you know immediately he's a wit, which is a jester of sorts, but they're hired to say things to the guests that the lord of the house cannot. So generally they're rude to other nobles. They're hired to be an a-hole.
Oh, that's great. They got kind of that like bardic immunity though. Like
Yeah. No, exactly. Like they are the bard. They're allowed to say mean things to people they don't know without reprimand.
It's Dennis Leary.
Oh,
Dick's Last
fantastic.
Resort.
Supposedly without reprimand. Not all of them live very long.
So it's like Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah. So this guy wears a bright outfit. He has dark brown hair and a short beard with brown eyes. And he's very welcoming to the party. He's like, welcome! Come to the Thorngall Mansion.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So for you guys, you can tell, like, he's interested in you, but he's obviously like, you guys are newcomers to here. I don't got material for you.
Oh, darn.
Because the walking tree person isn't material in of itself.
I mean, you might get a jibe about, oh, someone's coming in with wood. But
Sorry, I'll put it away.
Got him.
Would
Nice,
you rather?
nice.
Anyway.
do you guys walk up to the front door?
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so this lady's kind of, checks out who you guys are, has a good idea who you're going to be anyway, but admits you in. This guard's kind of just, keeping up, appearances, keeping an eye on everybody. He's like, all right. Pretty much, if anybody brings weapons with them, he tells them, he's like, I want to see those sheathed the whole night. He doesn't want you waving them about.
I probably just carry him a sword.
My weapon talks for itself.
I was going to say, I left the greatsword behind because I don't need to carry it. And anyways, I figure we're here to party.
Yup.
Kate's here to drop off the dog.
But maybe somebody wants to challenge me to a duel or something. Who knows?
Challenge you to a duel!
No, not you. You're too spooky.
All right. So you guys head inside.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So feel free to move your tokens.
Bloop.
And you're met by this butler dude who introduces himself as Harsk. He's an older man in a finely tailored suit. His hair is white and he has a monocle. His body seems deceptively lithe despite his advanced age. He welcomes you, gets your names correct. He asks to get your names correct and then announces you to the foyer. And you see this guy here that is moved is Harold Thorngall, the Lord's son. And this lady is Sibylla Holton, and they are kind of greeting the guests to the house, which are some of these other little nobles hanging around, and there's some servants on either side of the room with some snacks.
Oh
And as you
boy.
come in and are greeted, you're directed, because you're all male, to the men's study while dinner is set up. Kind of antiquated ritual where all the men and women separate for the first part of the party.
Ah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, huh?
Meh.
Yeah.
What up, nerds? JK lol. How's it going?
Okay. Is there anybody? All right. You make your way immediately over to Lord Thorngall there.
Oh,
So-
okay. That's the man of the house.
Yeah, the guy with the white hair and the beard. Yeah.
I'm guessing the study's filled with a bunch of books. Oh no, that's the library, probably more so.
Yeah, there is a library. It has a lot more. The study probably has a small bookshelf, but it's more like a desk and other stuff. So you guys meet Lord Thorngall. He has silver hair and dark gray eyes, a short cropped beard. He wears well-made clothing. Several pouches hang from his belt. In the room is his hunting dog, Fanny.
Oh, it's not Bob.
No. Like I said, if you roll like a 12, like they own more than one dog.
Oh, okay.
You guys have already heard a bunch of descriptions of this dude. He's initially, he's like, well, hello to all of you who wish to steal from me.
But then we didn't.
Yeah, so make a persuasion check to kind of turn his mood a little bit, because he's already broken a little bit of hostly duty, showing that he's slightly irritated.
That wasn't good.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
When we were told to steal from you, we thought you were a criminal.
Yeah,
We're
so
a little bit new to this city.
Yeah. The problem was rectified thusly.
Yes, but we did our legwork, and that revealed the true nature of things.
And none of them will be bothering anyone else again.
And with that kind of cheers him up a bit more. So he's like, all right, I understand. It was, not your intent to intentionally do me harm. But he's like, I'm aware you want to speak further on the matter. Perhaps we will meet up later after dinner and we can discuss.
It would be our pleasure.
Yes.
And so this dwarf dude, somewhat dropping eaves, kind of perks up. I got all my notes. So he kind of leans in and he's like, dealt with whom? What? Like it's something about thieves?
I'm going to roll an insight check.
That's probably a good idea, yeah.
What's he talking about?
I have no clue.
Holy hell. Told you I'd be rolling
Called
ones.
it, yeah. Oh, Zach had a 19. Okay.
Apparently I'm too busy just ogling the decor. Literally not.
You see Ignatius kind of roll his eyes a little bit from the other room, like out of the corner of your eye. You see him a little bit like, oh my god, this guy. So this guy is, well, just with an insight check, you can see that he's a very inquisitive type and likes to stick his nose in things and find out what's going on. Anyone else who wants to, you can also make a history check to figure out exactly who he is.
Dude, I am not on the ball tonight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy hell. Seriously, what is it about your game that we always roll low?
Unfortunately, we're not in combat that often early on.
Yeah, you guys always roll super high in my game, so I guess it's
Yeah.
Brutal.
weirdly.
So you guys don't know who this guy is, so feel free to interact with him as you feel you want to.
And
So-
you are, sir?
He introduces himself as Keddy Ottenson. Do I have an official title for him? Hold on just one second. So, he's a member of the Dwarven Royal Police, an investigator known well throughout Eastspire. He's an old friend of Andy's and frequents these parties. Now that you kind of introduced his appearance, he's an ancient dwarf with all of his hair gone to white. His beard reaches his waist and is braided and affixed with an onyx and mithril clasp. He's wearing a black ornate uniform of the Dwarven Royal Police, trimmed with mithril ornamentation, which you guys, the history check was to know what the uniform was. He also has a walking cane made of the same onyx and mithril, and all the martial people in our party can tell that it's ready to be used as a weapon if you need it to be.
Neat.
Cool.
And so, yeah, he's pretty much playing the role of his investigator. Like, now that you kind of put all the pieces together, it's like quasi-Sherlock Holmesian dwarf dude being like, I heard thief and steal and dealt with. You have piqued my interest.
Well, the thieves are dealt with, so, and no stealing has happened.
He's like, which thieves?
Okay. I butt in and I reach out, my hand. Guy at your service. We're a new adventurers group in town under our boss's name. Insert here.
Yeah.
Yudo.
We were originally hired to steal the Thorngall's gem, but
I elbow him in the ribs. Like, really, dude?
but under
No,
our
we weren't.
investigation, we discovered that our patrons were in fact a thieves guild. We took care of the problem.
The entire Thieves Guild?
Well, two survived.
Technically.
Yeah.
You seem surprised by the term survived.
I was going to say.
They attacked first.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like he was assuming, like, oh, you guys captured the entire Thieves Guild? It's like, no, we killed 99% of it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they attacked us.
Yeah.
Also, are they the Thieves Guild of this town? Or is it just...
Oh, no, there's more than one mover.
No. This was, if I remember right, we figured out that they were moving in. It was from Westport or something like that.
Yeah.
They were trying to get set up.
Yeah, see, this is why I got out of Westport, man. Just a hive of scum and villainy.
And he's very interested in this, and we can thus leave somewhat, but he pretty much wants as many details as possible about how some thieves guild from Westport dared to set up shop in Eastspire and pretend to be nobles and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So the 18 there is that I'm, name dropping a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, guy, those guys you should hire because we're great and we solve problems.
Even when they're morally dubious problems.
When someone says they know a guy, they're talking about us.
What they mean to say is, oh yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah, so I'm trying to, get him to think of us when he has a problem that maybe he doesn't want the police to be involved in.
He's
Or is
somewhat
more efficient.
picks up what you're putting down, but he also, might have more leeway than some other people would.
Okay.
And, he kind of scoffs at calling Westport a hive of scum and villainy, and he's like, you've never been to Blackport.
Yeah, that sounds worse than Westport.
Yeah. They've been a thorn in our side for years, but they're kind of entrenched in their location.
I don't actually say this out loud, but you mean a Thorngall in your side?
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
I sense the puns will be strong tonight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to, you can roll, I think, like history or nature to know about Blackport.
Yeah,
I
let
guess-
me check that shit.
There you go.
I heard of those assholes.
Yeah. So they're pretty close by. Like, they're not, like, Westport is way fucking far away.
Yeah, it's across the ocean. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
Blackport
England to the
is
New
a-
World there.
Hop, skip, and a jump to the southwest. And they're kind of in this, like, naturally built up area where, the river delta up into, like, the swamplands kind of breaks, and they broke all these rocks into these large vertical kind of teeth. And they have hollowed out all these teeth into multiple tiers and layers of hideout. So anyone trying to fuck with Blackport directly will generally get their ship, like, moored at the bottom and then be attacked by, like, 8 layers of pirates.
Oh,
up.
jeez.
So it's, like, pretty suicidal to try to attack them.
That is not a burrito I would want to order.
Yeah. They attack infrequently, but when they do, it's kind of annoying because they just go back to their little hideout and you can't really do much about it.
Yeah.
Nor do they rarely, come anywhere close to the city. It's usually on the seas.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very smart of them.
No. And Ignatius over here is talking to a guy. I got all my notes. I guess he could, call anyone over who wants to talk. And so Ignatius introduces this man that he's talking with as August Suresteel, and you guys as his, compatriots and co-workers
All
in the
right.
Guild of Adventurous Intent. August is interested in the fact that, Ignatius got to go inside Mog Faldor as part of the Adventuring Guild, and it's something that, he's husband to a council member. His wife, Sala Suresteel, is a council member, and he's like, we haven't even been inside. And, we help run this city.
Oh well, we helped a dude brew some beer.
Yeah, figures that, Farak the Darker gets his way and you get inside, and we serve as public servants for years and get nothing. This guy is an older gentleman. Almost every detail of him bespeaks a life of luxury and wealth, except for a single scar on his lower jaw. His hair is silver and combed back. His outfit is classic but highly refined.
I feel like we're way out of our league. At this
Yeah.
Well, no, this is like where all the nobles are. So you guys are kind of meeting all the movers and shakers
Yeah.
that decided to attend. And you guys can also make additional checks on stuff, because I've given you guys some of this data before, but if you want to make like a history check of like who the shore steals are.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's important. They're on the council, right?
Yeah, well, there you go. 22 will definitely do it.
Damn, son.
So, this man's wife, Sala Suresteel, is a half-elf. They run the Shore Steel Foundry, which is the producers of true steel, along with other metals and highly desired goods.
Ah.
And so her blades are considered some of the sharpest and well-made anywhere in the Yawning Sea. So their main claim to power is weapons manufacturing and armor making.
Damn.
Cool. Man, I'm going to get a lot of typing practice now.
Awesome.
Oh, you're writing all this down.
I'm trying.
You're not even the NPC guy. You're just the lore guy. Yeah, great. There's some overlap.
Except I kind of spaced completely on the dwarf investigator guy.
Yeah, I mean, I got all that stuff, so if I end up being NPC guy, it's real easy that I can copy paste a bunch of people into like a Google Docs page for everybody.
Yeah.
Seems good.
But we'll see. Yeah, and then the only other dude that we haven't talked to yet is hiding out over here. Or guy of note that Ignatius points out.
Hey guys, what's up? How do you do, fellow rich people?
Person.
One put the notes down. So this guy has dyed black hair and amber eyes and a short beard. He has fine raiment of multiple layers, and he's sporting a cane made of exotic wood wrapped in brass. Ignatius, kind of now with the party, comes over and he introduces these people because he knows who they are. And he says, "Everyone, please meet Lord Gillan Vandes. His family controls many of the shipyards in the city." And so Gillan kind of, is sporting a glass of fine whiskey in his hand, and he's looking a little brooding, and he's like, yes, the shipyards. And he's just kind of like, if you all would excuse me, I'm not quite in the mood to entertain at the moment.
You having some trouble there, buddy? 'Cause we kind of deal with trouble.
If you guys want to make a persuasion check.
That's what I'm doing.
Assist.
There you go. Fucking
Oh,
26.
yeah.
And a 25.
Nice.
He's like, oh, yes, you are adventurers. And so he perks up quite a bit when that good of a persuasion check. He's been hearing rumors of monsters in the sea, and he lost one of his largest ships recently. and he's concerned about what to do about it.
Meta question. Are we equipped to deal with the sea battle?
Some of us may have some sailing expertise, but we could go off and figure out what type of monster there is and other crap.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does
What was
he
this
wanna-
dude's name again, Dave?
Gilan Vandes. So Gilan, and then the last name is Vandes, which is Vandes.
Okay. I'm just writing down potential jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought you said his name was Valdez. Like Exxon Valdez. Or Valdez.
Oh, yeah, then he'd be really pissed.
No, he's the Vandes. Yeah, now that you know that he runs the shipyards and stuff, you kind of see like his coat is definitely set up more for like ocean spray, and like he has multiple layers of garb on, and they're all kind of still very noble and well refined, but definitely a little bit of air of like utility to him. Whereas August would look more of like a fine smoking coat.
Neat. Making those connections, though.
Yeah, so we can do a side quest with this guy if you guys want to go down to the docks in the next couple days and do some investigation and stuff,
Sure.
Yeah, that might be good.
which I'll have to put together, honestly. I have a note of there's a potential hook here with this guy if you guys rolled well enough, and I just need to actually fill it out.
Sweet. We rolled the shit out of that.
Yeah,
We're building up a job board.
Yeah.
and you also did well about working around characters that have a starting disposition of kind of moody.
Whoa.
Mew. So some time goes by, you guys are mingling. Everybody.
Everybody Wing Chun tonight?
I'm looking through my notes from the heist of what the order of operations is. So, everybody's called into the main hall and atrium for entertainment, dancing, and past hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
People move around. And I will start moving people around in a moment. There's no cut.
I go right for sampling the hors d'oeuvre plates.
Same.
Gotta move my notes so I actually can reach my keyboard. All right. All right. Now, I move you guys into, or are you guys gonna do that on your own?
I think most of us are in here.
Just missing Jeff, I think.
And myself.
Can't forget yourself.
All right. So you guys move in. This little band is playing, which is
Nice.
funny. You guys can't see the nameplate. So the main hall is now filled with people. All of the women that were in the sitting room and common room have moved in. Which I'm not going to move every NPC, but all the named ones are in.
Whoa.
And so everyone's kind of mingling, listening to music. Some people are maybe dancing. You get a little past hors d'oeuvres, and Steve already said he's stuffing his face.
Same.
And so now there's the female counterparts to some of these men, or some female that came alone, if anybody wants to talk to them.
Yes.
Okay. A quick
Not
question.
much.
Is anyone glowing? Sorry, I have to ask.
Magically?
vengeance stuff.
Oh, vengeance stuff. Let me, for the lulz, because I have something for this. No.
Okay.
I rolled a D100 to see if there was. It was not. Yeah, you still feel like your vengeance is weird because you feel little specks of it throughout the city that you can't quite lock onto. Mostly because you feel this giant fucking beacon out to ocean, and you're like, I gotta get there. Don't know how.
Okay. Second question. Is anyone at this table old enough to remember the Gold Rune family?
I'm guessing Ketty would.
Ketty is the dwarf?
A dwarf that has gone fully white is probably ancient.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. Does he look familiar to me at all? Like, did I know him as a kid?
Make a history check for that and see if you do. Now that you know who he is.
Yeah. Nope.
He doesn't seem familiar to you. He might have been a young up and starter 113 years ago, being an investigator.
Okay.
You can definitely approach him about that topic.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's see if he remembers. I'll roll this publicly. 20. That's his wheelhouse. So he does remember somewhat of the Gold Rune family being around and how they were, highly respected enchanters. And he remembers, the really odd night when supposedly tragedy struck and the house burned down and the entire family was killed in the fire.
Does he remember anything weird about that story? Any foul play, perhaps?
Check it. Definitely one of those things where he's like, he would have suspected foul play, but they investigated and they couldn't find anything that would indicate it. But he was definitely skeptical at the time.
Okay.
But any evidence that probably would have pointed toward foul play probably burned down with the house.
Okay. I will let other people talk.
Like meta-wise, I have a whole binder here that I have to flip through and be like, all right, where's that?
Who's this lady here?
All right.
Good evening, madam. How do you do?
Is Lady Iridae Vandes, which is Gillian's wife. She's a tall woman with platinum blonde hair and a curling tail. She has a flowing ball gown of charcoal, tan, white, and gray, bespeaking a feeling of winds and sails. She has many accessories. The most notable is a pseudo-dragon perched on her shoulder.
That's different.
Yep.
What's that little guy there?
Oh, Telmar. He comes around with me for the parties. He can eat all the little treats that I don't like.
That's her little poopsie.
It's her little poopsie.
Does she carry him around in a purse?
He's just kind of draped over her shoulders like a boa.
That's pretty great.
Scarf cat.
Yeah, Scarf cat just kind of chilling there and being like, takes a bite of something, doesn't like it, just hands it up to him and he just kind of noms it.
I'll hand him something.
And he kind of perks up a little bit, comes over and just like,
Here you go, little buddy.
The whole thing. Couple crumbs coming out the side of the mouth.
Outstanding.
So she maybe sounds a little haughty, but she's like, so are you guys that new adventuring party that's in the city?
Yes, I represent the Guild of Adventurous Intent.
And so she comes off genuinely interested in tales of, what you guys have done and your backstories and where you come from.
I guess I'll give her the spiel. I'll throw out some of my war stories from my time with the Black Dragon Company there. You know, to be like, truthfully, I'm pretty new here, and I haven't done much with my new compatriots over here. But yeah, I'll probably, tell some more stuff about, like, when I was an officer and whatnot.
You mean when you were a rich man?
I just get paid slightly better than the enlisted man.
Sorry, dog pet
Ah,
came over. So yeah, she's very interested and definitely kind of pokes around anyone else of like, it's like, is that a Goliath? Like, we don't see many of those, and like, she's far more interested on an individual basis versus her own problems. And so she kind of makes her way around to all these newcomers, and she's like, "This is a plant man. What do you call yourself?"
Silvari?
A Silvari. Never seen one yet. Never even heard of one.
We don't get out much.
Out of where?
I actually forgot that detail.
Yeah. She's half expecting you to say like the forest, when she's just like, "Can I get more info of where they're from?" This is weird.
Sorry, we kind of keep to ourselves a bit.
All right. She kind of pokes, toward the Goliath, and she's like, "What are you doing all the way down here?"
That's a good question. I was in a bar and I got hired to do a job, and then just because I felt like it, I joined in, and now I'm here.
Interesting.
Not really the most interesting backstory, but also this tree guy is pretty interesting.
You're just like, I don't want to talk about me.
I mean, I have a pretty messed up backstory that I don't want to Debbie Downer this whole party, so
Oh, brutal.
Probably
don't worry about it.
Don't want to bring that up.
And she also makes her way over to the Dragonborn, and she's like, "Are you also part of this adventuring guild?"
Indeed. Daroth Goldrune. He shakes I shake her hand.
Yeah. She's like, "And how did you come into this line of work?"
Well, I've been a warrior for quite some time, but you see, perhaps you've heard of the Goldrune family of ages past. I'm afraid they've, due to a tragic accident, the branch of the family that was here in name of city here. Sorry, I have a terrible memory.
Eastspire,
yeah. But my branch of the family is from Westport, and I just thought I'd visit the old.
Yeah,
Digs.
he's totally from Westport. I know your family.
Wow,
I got you, fam.
So A of all, she does recognize the name. There's something in her family, like, her father has some little clockwork contraption that she was told the gold runes made. She picks up your little stumble about Westport and kind of picks up that you don't really want to talk about your real backstory, and that was kind of fabricated, but she doesn't press the issue. But kind of, you can tell she made mental note of it.
Okay.
I was like, that's a factoid for later exploitation.
Should I roll a deception check to,
Yeah, you can roll an opposed deception check, but
Can
I was
I
rolling more
assist
her.
or something?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I was rolling her
roll
insight to pick up on that. But
Okay. Cool.
cool.
I'm helping.
And she rolled really well.
Yeah.
Pseudo Dragon is not.
Not impressed.
Pseudo Dragon is indifferent to your suffering.
Pseudo Dragon sees through your bullshit. Dogs being weird. All right. This is pretty much the extent of how much she bugs each of you. She might, elbow the bard, and she's like, "So how's Ignatius there being with you guys?"
He pulls his weight.
She's like, "We're all a little surprised that he's turned out to be an adventurer."
Well, he seems more like a doer,
He'll be fine as long as he doesn't take an arrow to the knee.
Yeah, man, that's a nasty injury.
Back to meta talk. I love the description of arrow to the knee as being getting married because you have to go down on one knee to propose.
Once I heard that explanation, I was like, my God, that makes perfect sense.
It makes too much sense where it's like, oh, I took an arrow to the knee, and it's like, oh, he's injured. No, he's freaking married, and he can't go off adventuring anymore because his wife nags him.
So I have a question. Are there any potted plants in the area in this dining room?
I would say probably in the dining room, especially like in the corners or hanging from the ceiling. There's some plants.
Can I go over to one of them and talk to it?
Sure.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna get more hors d'oeuvres, and I'm gonna stop and chat up one of the servant ladies.
Okay.
Just because that's how I do. I don't know if that's a lady, but whatever. It is for right now.
Sure. She might have a pixie cut, but it's fine. So Jeff, you talking to a plant?
Yeah. So I'm just I kind of use an icebreaker, and I'm like, hey, so how you enjoying this party?
I'm really tempted to do a quote from a book of "I am a stick." Yeah, the plant is kind of like I'm indifferent. Like there's more oxygen and carbon dioxide in the air, but
That's good. You getting enough water?
Yeah, he's pretty well maintained.
That's good. That's good. Have you met anyone at this party?
No one's really come over other than the servants earlier to water me.
Oh, I see. I pull the lady behind me over. I'm like, hey, have you met this plant?
He's like, wait, what?
Kind of playing wingman for this plant.
For the plant?
Even I look over just like, what?
She's like, I'm sorry, but I don't speak to plants. It's not one of the skills I have.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that.
And so this girl has short, cropped, dirty blonde hair. She wears an elaborate outfit intended to show off supposed abilities as a sorceress. And she's accessorized by a series of sapphires. With those of us that have arcane abilities, notice that the largest one is a pearl of power on a chain at her waist.
Oh. Dang.
What does that do? Sorry.
It lets her regain a spell slot once per day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty high-end item, right?
Yeah, it's mid-level. I think it's like uncommon or...
Yeah, depending on the slot, right?
They dumbed it down a lot in 5th Ed.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's also an attunement item, which is really dumb in 5th Ed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, attune to this item so you can have one more spell slot per day. I'm like, oh, it used to be enough.
Yeah, that's not that great.
Yeah. I used to like having a knapsack full of them and just be like, I can blow spells all I want.
Whoa.
She's very friendly to you, but you can tell she's a little insecure.
I'm pretty sure no one's more insecure than I am. I'm definitely not the most well dressed person at this party, nor am I very well adorned, such as yourself.
She thanks you. She introduces herself as Marietta.
My name is Thorncaller.
Oh, that's very similar to my family name of Thorngall.
It is, isn't that something?
Is she one of the children?
Yeah, she's the youngest.
Ah.
How old is she?
She's still probably like 19.
19, okay.
Mental math we can hear over silence. And so she picks up on that you're talking to a plant. She's like, are you the only caster in this group that you work with, or do other people have arcane abilities?
I mean, there are a couple others that I'm pretty sure are magically inclined.
Pretty sure like the whole party is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the.
You look over at me, and I'm like mage handing a bunch of hors d'oeuvres in the air, like juggling.
Yeah, I'm
Trying to impress this random servant girl.
Right?
Does she have like detect magic or anything like that, like instantly available and or?
I mean, I'm sure she probably has that as one of the spells she could cast.
Okay, because if she's looking at me, she's like, "Oh, that's nice," and then she
Dear
sees
God, what is that?
yeah, it's like, you know, the surface looks like a normal dragonborn, and underneath it's a rotting corpse.
I have a question. If I use, okay, this is a hypothetical question out of character.
Okay.
If I were to use some like, if I were to use what is it? Mind spore, whatever it's called.
Oh, the report spores, yeah.
Yeah, the rapport spores. Does that work on plants too? Like, can plants telepathically speak to people?
I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Let me get.
I want to blow this girl's mind.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you already
Phrasing,
are.
bro.
Hold on, let me get my Sprouting Chaos PDF up.
It probably says humanoid.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's.
But if this was just for flavor, because
I'm like, hold on, let me see what.
it's
Are you trying to facilitate her talking to the plant?
Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic.
I want to create like a small little like centralized kind of spore cloud. Be like, check this out, and then like do a thing.
I will allow it in this case, but normally it has to be a creature with intelligence of 2 or higher.
Oh, okay.
But you're talking to a plant and it's responding, so I think while you already have talk with plants, if you're like, hey, everybody get on the party line.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that. So I kind of like I look at her and I say, I want you to talk to this plant, and I think I have a way to do it. So check this out. And so I conjure like the spore cloud like in my hand, and it's just like so breathe this in a little bit. It's not harmful in any way. It's going to allow you to talk to plants. And then I kind of whiff it over to the plant and whiff it over to me, and so that like all three of us have spore.
I'm just picturing someone like grabbing like a handful of cocaine and be like, check this out. I'm just like,
yeah, I just blow it into the air.
Everybody do this cocaine right now, immediately.
Yeah.
Gotta run along.
And
we're about to get turned.
So now I kind of facilitate the kind of conversation. Be like, so, try talking to this plant.
So she's kind of hello, and it's like, hello. She's like, that's highly strange.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yes, my plants have never talked to me before.
Well, now you know. You can totally get what they want and have them be happy plants.
It's like, I could use a little bit more fertilizer if I can make a request. Maybe a couple more hours of sunlight would be nice, but I don't want to ask for too much.
So honestly, it's all about the happy little trees.
Happy little trees.
All right, Bob Ross.
He grows an afro made out
Oh
of
my
plant
god,
oil.
yes. You just wear a bush on your head.
Actually, he gets
Jeez.
that magic item that turns into an awakened shrub. And
Yes.
just carries it on his head.
Yes.
Bring us another shrubbery. That's what they were talking about the entire time. Was just that kind of shrub.
Yes.
So, in interest of time, you guys go back and forth for a while, and she pretty much is just like, if at some future time I'd like to discuss the arcane arts further with your more powerful casters, since they are more trained than I.
Okay.
We give her a number, and also I probably drop a hint about us being an adventure group if she, ever needs some services or stuff like that.
All right.
If a 17-year-old is ever in need of.
Hey, man, maybe she needs like an ex-boyfriend taken out. Like, we're good for that.
We could kill everyone.
We could be like gods. Angry, vengeful gods.
Exactly.
All right. So while we're here, you're gonna go over to that lady.
I'm gonna talk to this Khaleesi looking lady.
Excellent.
How do you do, madam?
Oh, I do very well. This lady is a half elf, a little bit of a rounded face. You find her very beautiful. Her hair is
Yay.
actually silver, not white. And has light brown eyes. She wears tailored clothing consisting of a tasteful dark blue, almost black dress with sheer sleeves and numerous rings. As she talks to you, she's very courteous, but she kind of looks you over and she makes as many entendres as she can during conversation.
I make them back.
And she seems highly intrigued by this and excited that someone else is responding.
I
And so,
found the thought.
yeah. Well, you did. So pretty much she's like going back and forth with you, talking, kind of making small talk. You guys are both kind of doing the thieves' cant equivalent of, double entendres.
Yay.
And then she kind of calls you two more over to like the corner to talk privately. And she's like, I don't know about you, but I don't need to stick around for dinner. I have a room upstairs.
So who are you again?
So her name is Enwyn Donglow.
Okay.
What is that?
Does that name ring a bell at all?
You can make a history check.
Yeah, I'm gonna not get us kicked out of the nobility. Or maybe I will. Holy shit.
Maybe the Donglows are even more powerful than
You
the
know who
Donglows.
everybody is, apparently. So she's a noble of a non-council family that interacts a lot with the elven community throughout Eastspire, which are usually in the farms and the terraced land just outside.
Yeah.
So she has some influence, but she's nowhere near a high roller like many of these other people you've already talked with.
Alright.
As someone who generally, is hanging out outside the city, she has been given accommodations upstairs.
Sounds good.
Time to make a new friend.
Yeah, I think I'll, I don't know. I had an entendre and then I forgot it.
So you two are gonna thusly disappear for a moment?
Yeah, we'll thusly, out of everyone's sight. I roll
Yeah.
stealth for,
Sneaking.
yeah.
For
why
how
not?
well everybody notices.
Yay.
You find a way to kind of slip away and make it look like you was going to the privy, but don't come back for a while. And so we're down to Bard.
Oh no.
Bard doing the Bard thing.
As he gets murdered.
Oh no. Rerolling as a revenant.
Vengeance!
Revenge Bros.
Revenant party.
We are the Revengers.
We don't need a name.
Excellent. All right, so we'll come back to you. In the main room, you guys can make an insight check, I guess. All right, so Steve notices this, even though he's behind a wall. Ignatius has been talking to this other woman and largely trying to keep her somewhat out of the, communicative area around the rest of the party. So,
Eh.
Like she kind of wants to move towards us, but he keeps pulling her away, kind of thing, or
kind of he's keeping the conversation so she's not going off and talking to you guys, or making sure that, like, if you guys are getting closer, he kind of moves their conversation subtly further away, and she's not seeming to pick it up, that he's like slowly guiding the conversation this way.
Aw, he doesn't love us?
Well, maybe he does, but you don't know who this lady is.
you know what? I kind of like see if I can make eye contact with him, just kind of give him that look of like, "Hey, who's that?"
Question mark?
I asked the girl that's standing next to us who that is.
All right, Marietta, who is talking to you telepathically at this point, and she's like, "Oh, that's Carissa Rothwild."
That name sounds familiar.
Same last name as my character.
It's his sister.
Yep.
Well, don't worry. The bard's out of your hair, so...
Yeah, so Marietta's like, "Hey, that's Ignatius's older sister there."
I kind of. Oh wait, I'm not in that conversation.
You're just kind of looking over, and he's just kind of like, he's like, "It's cool, but no." Like
Like I can see Thorncaller and her just like nodding, like they're having a conversation.
Yeah, and it's not like we're purposely excluding you. It's just habit,
Telepathic
Oh.
spore habit.
like reflex.
Yeah, I know what reflexes are.
You're not here. You're upstairs.
I know, I'm just saying. That me going
Somehow
upstairs was
your
also a reflex.
conversation- Somehow your conversation.
No, it's
with
out of character.
upstairs is going on simultaneously.
I'm making remarks out of character. It's okay. I was saying me going upstairs is also a reflex.
Yeah.
Oh,
So at this
Damn.
point, there's only
hold on. So
Yeah.
that conversation is going. Everyone else gets the message that he doesn't want us to talk to her, and Daroth is like, "Oh, he wants us to talk to her," and immediately just walks straight up.
yeah. That's what I figured. You know, one on an insight. Like, dude.
How's it going, buddy?
Actually, can I make a save, like dex save or something like that, to like throw an arm in front of him and be like, "Wait a second, hold on."
Yo.
Try.
What do you want, like a dex save?
Yeah, sure. Do a dex or
Wait, why'd you roll
Athletics.
2?
Zach. Do you want to make an opposed dex or athletics or something? Just like
No. If he like holds me back, I'm like, "What up?"
Humble check.
So I just kind of office. I'm like, I think he's trying to keep her away from us. I don't know why, but
Daroth, gets like a, I read that situation really wrong. Good call.
Oh, now I don't get it.
Yeah, the only other person you guys haven't talked to other than Carissa is this lady.
What about that lady?
You talked to her. She's the one that had the pseudo dragon.
Oh, okay.
Guess we talked to that lady.
All right. She's the hostess. Lady Rista Thorngall. She's wife of Andy's Thorngall. You can tell she's much younger than her husband, with long wavy blonde hair and amber eyes. She's wearing a silken dark purple dress made of multiple layers of fabric, creating different areas of sheerness. She's accessorized by a gold and jade necklace with a geometric pattern and long dangle earrings of a similar design. And she seems, polite, and she's like makes small talk with you guys, but doesn't seem super interested in much more than that. Like she does, you can tell she's kind of doing the small talk because it's her job to do the small talk.
Okay.
And then let me see if, for the lulls, because I want to make this fair. All right, she does. You can see Carissa like sees you guys and wants to talk to you, but she somehow still gets stuck in conversation with her brother. He's just kind of like, no, don't go and talk to my friends because you're going to embarrass me.
You know what? Actually, do I realize that? Or no, I guess since you explained it, do we kind of figure out that she's the other host?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll just kind of...
Oh, no. So this lady is the other host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's who I meant. The other phone call. Oh, I figured I'd at least give a quick introduction. I'm Luke and Pine Shadow. Thank you for having us. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And just kind of a little bit leave it at that, kind of.
Yeah.
Be respectful.
All of the polite, courteous responses, but it's very, like, by the book. It's exactly what you would expect a noble lady to say to someone who said thank you for inviting us.
Is there anyone else at this party that looks like that they don't fit in?
That doesn't fit in? Not really. You can tell there's definitely, like, these named people we're talking to, and then there's these other NPCs that didn't pull into the room that are much more lower station. That are
right, but I mean like that they're dressed to the nine, but they clearly don't look like they really want to be here.
Not quite. You can note one thing if you make a insight check.
Once you finish that, there was one other thing I wanted to say to her.
Okay. You looking back over the room, kind of thinking about, like, does anyone look suspicious? You notice the Thorngall's son, Harold, and the lady that greeted you on the way in have not been seen since the greeting.
Okay.
Spooky.
Like, were they in the entrance foyer?
Yeah, they were there, and they're not there now.
How suspicious is that?
You can confer it yourself, or...
So, I guess I'll roll insight. Is that weird that this wouldn't be here?
With an 11, you're not sure if it's like he disappeared mysteriously or he just decided to take that lady somewhere else in the house.
Okay.
It's like, our bard just disappeared to another room. So, maybe?
Lol.
Bunch of people going missing.
Yep.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say to her was just offer, hey, if you're ever of need of my services or that of our group, the Guild of Adventurous Intent, please let us know. Let me or the others know.
Yeah, and she says she will. All right. It's getting late. But does anybody want to make a break to talk to the random sister, or are you going to kind of let Ignatius get his way and be like, and over here is that wonderful thing we were talking about last summer? Like,
I'm gonna walk over.
Damn the torpedoes.
Yeah.
Ah.
all right. So,
What's up?
Carissa,
He didn't get the memo.
Aren't you gonna invite me? Introduce me?
oh yeah, sure. Thorncaller, this is my sister Carissa.
Hi, Carissa. What's up?
He's like, oh, not much. Just, endearing my little brother here and listening to his stories. So this lady,
and I nudge her and go, quote unquote, stories. Am I right?
a little tickle of a laugh. So this lady seems to have an inquisitive and calculating demeanor, like she knew exactly what her brother was doing. Her hair is auburn with some blonde highlights and has blue eyes. Her dress is bell-shaped, is a bell-shaped design of multiple layers of fabric with multiple shades of green and cream. She's very friendly to you guys and calls you friends of her little brother. And pretty much will talk to you guys at length about, her little brother and tales of his younger days and
All the standard embarrassing older sister has stories about little brother kind of thing.
yeah, she's like, oh, he finally has a bunch of friends and he got to do this cool thing that I didn't get to do. So let me tell you guys about that time when he did that thing.
Are there any embarrassing stories that stick out?
I mean, you can tell like some of them seem like a little bit of a stretch to be an embarrassing story, but there's definitely some backstory fill-in of like, being the weird child, getting, an expert knife juggler and knife thrower to like train him at home during the summers and stuff. Where you're like, oh, that's where he learned how to throw a knife 120 feet. Like, like she's like, from a noble's perspective, it's like some carny was at our house teaching him how to do this. And it's like, from an adventurer's standpoint, you're like, oh, that kind of explains why he knows how to throw a knife so far.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys don't get any like major like woo. You also kind of pick up that like she has no idea about like any of his arcane abilities, just that he's an adventurer and he wears this stupid mask.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
Yeah, pretty much like oh, he thinks he's so cool with this little black mask and doesn't think anyone knows it's him. Who else is leaving our house at 2 a.m. like from his room?
Stomping around like a bunch of elephants.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not that sneaky.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, he's kind of like somewhat actually relieved that like that's the extent of her embarrassing stories, and he's like, really? Like that was okay. Like he was expecting a much more, pain in the ass to talk with his sister. Or even worse, like her hitting on one of you or something and him being like, oh my god.
No, I'm gone. It's cool. We're safe.
Yeah. All right. So after that, dinner is served. You guys are kind of somewhat shuffled around as like a bunch of tables come out of like nowhere and are set up and food is served. The party kind of quiets substantially during dinner. During this time, Harold and Sibylla do return. You can tell Sibylla's hair is a little disheveled. Our bard does not return yet. So in the meantime, the dinner goes pretty much without incident. You guys are mostly sitting near each other. Might have like a couple little polite conversations with people, discussion on food and politics and weather. Then you guys are all sent outside to the balcony for past small desserts and drinks. And Andy's Thorngall has scheduled, some fireworks to actually be set off. So you guys are all kind of out on the balcony talking. You guys have already had a chance to talk to everybody. Brent is still gone. And at this time, while everybody else is out at the balcony, Lord Thorngall says, all right, you guys wanted to have a further discussion. Follow me to the library.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah. So he brings the crew.
I guess as we're walking, and I guess at that point we kind of notice, hey, where's the bard?
It's like, I saw where he went. He's not going to come anytime soon.
Well,
Ha,
Where
ha,
is he?
ha.
Uh,
Hey, I got that 14 con, man.
Ruh-roh.
So yeah, he comes into the library. There's some more tables and chairs, and he pulls out, liquor cabinet and gets a couple drinks for everybody. And pretty much is like, all right, well, since you've already dug into my family for this foiled mission against me, what else did you feel you needed to know to put this at rest?
So Daroth steps forward at this point and says, well, I'm here in... God, I never remember the name. Fucking city name.
Eastspire.
Eastspire. It's the name of the campaign. I really should remember that.
Yeah.
I'm here in Eastspire, hopefully to investigate the events that happened to a branch of my family, the Gold Runes. I know, or I discovered during our investigation, this particular mission, that gem that protects your family seems to have been made by the Gold Rune family. I wonder if you'd let me have a look at it.
And he considers it. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
That's pretty good. And he's like, and that's the extent of your interest is to look into this gold rune line of inquiry.
Are you familiar with the story of the Gold Rune clan?
He's aware that his grandfather or great-grandfather had the gem crafted, and he's heard gold rune related to those that made it.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't know much specifics about the family themselves. In his lifetime, he's never seen a gold rune in person.
Okay. The circumstances over my family's loss here in Eastspire were somewhat suspicious. I'm looking for any possible hint. The investigation yielded nothing then, and it has been quite a long time, but still, I'm grasping at straws.
And he kind of agrees with the 21 persuasion to be like, all right, and he goes up that set of stairs by his guard, and his guard kind of keeps an eye on you guys. And a couple minutes later, he comes back down the stairs, and he has a gem in hand. I'm sure I have an icon for this. That is very helpful. Yeah. I gotta get it all the way from across the map. Yeah. Bam. So he comes to this gem somewhere. There you go. And he hands it over for your investigation. He's a little weary about handing it over to you, but you guys convinced him to let you guys see it. He says, in his family, it's called the Wolf's Heart. It's a blood red gem about the size of a fist, and then laid around it is a tangle of vines with silver flowers, and silver work over the gem.
Okay.
And so,
I tried to roll.
You can also make like an Arcana check to look at it.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call. Oh, actually, I'm not trained in Arcana. Oh, man. Daroth is failing. Can my sword roll?
Sure. And you also probably have other people in the party that are Arcana.
To say, I could help.
Go ahead.
There you go.
You're like, magic gems, I got this.
Sort of been digging into magic gems in general anyways, so.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
So yeah, you can definitely tell there's like some heavy enchantment in here. The silver seems like a fitting accoutrement, knowing that it's supposed to keep back lycanthropy. Like, you already kind of know what it's supposed to do, so having that extra knowledge kind of gives you an insight like how it works, and like you suspect the blood red color is more that it's actually infused with blood, like keyed to a particular bloodline, more than the gem is actually red colored. And you can tell, it's exquisitely crafted and very ingenious on how it's working. There's a very small, gold rune family symbol on like one of the facets as kind of like a maker's mark. And yeah, you pretty much figure out like, it's definitely like an interesting bloodline item to keep this thing at bay.
Okay. There's nothing sort of special about it. There's nothing that, no more information there that I might clue in on.
For your particular backstory, like there's not a whole lot of additional information to be like what happened to the family.
Right,
You can
yeah.
definitely tell that the family was well renowned for enchantments and crafting and their crafting ability. And that, noble families of Eastspire sought them out in times of need to, create something like this where someone decided, let's curse this noble family. And they're like, we need someone to prevent this from ruining the family and potentially killing a bunch of people.
Okay.
And so, and also talking to Keddy earlier, like the dwarven investigator, he's like, there was definitely an air of suspicion around it, but there's no hard evidence to prove it.
Yeah.
Was his recollection of the case.
Okay.
Like, he was like, I would have loved to find foul play, but I couldn't find the thread that went anywhere.
All right. I hand it back and just, thank you for letting me see a piece of my people's history.
Yeah, and he appreciates that you were reverent and that, and he kind of, he offers for you guys to, if you want to, you can rejoin everyone else out on the balcony or whatnot. But overall, because it is 9:16 and I am at the end of my notes for the party itself, the party kind of breaks up over the course of the next hour or so. People have desserts, they have drinks, they hang out on the balcony and eventually kind of meander off the property and head home or up to their rooms. And Brent.
Yes.
You are up in a guest room on the second floor.
Oh boy.
You are in the middle of a night of furious passion. We do not find you that night. Make a persuasion check.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You woke up tied to the bed, and she was not initially willing to let you go.
Brutal.
But with a 25 persuasion check, she decides, yeah, no, this isn't my house. I can't really keep you here. So...
Yeah, I made it all weird. I was like, nah, lady, I'm into this. Let's go right now. Round 2. Let's do it.
She's still very
Okay.
into you and into it, but she's willing to let you depart at your own schedule rather than keep you there on her schedule.
Yay.
That was the funny thing, was like she was not going to let you go if you didn't pass that persuasion. Like the bard's missing for several days. Where the hell is he?
It's all good.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
She is Enwen, which is Enwen, Dawn Glow.
Alright, yeah, and if you guys ask me where I've been, I tell you, me and Miss Donglow got caught up in a very long discussion about the finer points of half-elven anatomy.
Okay.
All right. So as we're approaching the end of our evening, and we've gone through and met a bunch of nobles of the city, the next day, Yudo, kind of taking his new role as the host and having to procure and maintain the base of operations, decided to let you guys in on some information that Radovan had survived his polymorphing and his familiar had taken him. And after a little bit of persuasion, they were able to get access to that Thieves Guild's accounts.
Huh.
And he's willing to use that account to create a base of operations for the Guild of adventurous intent.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
But you got to work with. Got some notes. A realtor, and he wants to know where in the city you guys would want to have a base of operations. And do I have the name of this guy yet? I got the guy further down. For the beginning of next session, we'll probably have some email back and forth, especially so Josh has a say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the possible locations to look at are the docks, the steps, which is kind of the normal average person area of the city coming up off the docks, the academy area, the market, the cliffs, or somewhere outside the city walls. And each of these, when we decide on a location, will give some benefit to the group based on location in particular, one that we choose.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Seeing as most of us are magic of some sort, the academy would probably be good for all of us.
Yeah, I sort of agree. But I think we should take a look at them next session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm probably going to do it over email so we get a little bit of a vote. And then my idea is the beginning of next session is you guys get to see the place you purchased.
Sweet.
So I got to put the map into Roll20.
Cool.
But there are currently...
Outstanding.
So meta-wise, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different maps we will eventually, unbeknownst to you, have a choice of.
Sweet.
And I actually have a folder of all 16 maps.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the realtor you guys are going to be talking with is Speaker Dane Norum, which is a dwarf of the Litany of Stone. So one of those guys with the gray hoods that walk around the city and kind of maintain everything. They apparently also oversee, like foreclosures and real estate sales.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, I'll send that out over email over the next couple days, and we will hang out again in 2 weeks.
Woo
Cool.
woo.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys have any other questions and stuff?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Move everybody back to the blue scroll for now.
Good game, y'all.
Yeah. You guys get to go to the party and actually enjoy the party and not try to hide from the nobles.
And, well, never mind. I enjoyed way more than the party.
Yeah. No, you met the girl that was the party.
Hell yeah. I'm
Nice.
gonna give her my deets. Hey, we'll talk again. It'll be great.
Yep.
They don't call it D&D for nothing.
Uh,
All right. I'll catch you guys later then.